Hello and welcome to Beautiful People. My guest today is a sportsman who's given India one of its most iconic sporting moments. His gold medal in 2008 was India's first ever individual gold at the Olympics. Since then, Abhinav Bindra has kept a low presence. He got back to competition early this year, and at the recent Commonwealth Games, he's picked up 2 medals, 1 gold in the one team gold and 1 individual silver. We are at his home in Chandigarh to find out what the champion is up to next. Abhinav, it's great to have you on this show again.
Yes, it's nice to be back.
What was the Commonwealth Games like?
I think the Commonwealth Games were a fantastic event, at least for all Indian athletes. It was our best ever showing, so it was absolutely fantastic to be part of the whole thing. I think it's probably the only opportunity I would get in my sporting career to compete in an event of such a big magnitude in front of your home people, and that was quite an experience because as a shooter you're not used to having spectators and used to having 100 people, 100 photographers before the start of your competitions, and that's exactly what I faced at Delhi. So it was very interesting. I competed in my first Commonwealth Games as a 15-year-old in KL, and 16 years down the road I am flag bearer, so it was an incredibly proud moment for me.
What about your performance? How disappointed are you that you didn't get the individual gold?
Oh, I don't look at it that way. I'm quite pleased with my performance. I shot a good result. I shot well. Obviously, Gagan did really well. I'm happy for him, but I'm equally happy for myself because I shot a reasonable score, and I ended up winning a silver medal. I don't look at it as a way that I lost out on a gold medal. I won a silver medal, so I'm happy with my own performance.
Since 2008, there was a hiatus in your shooting career for almost a year, or over a year actually, because you got back into competition only early this year, isn't it? Was that something that was planned by you and the team that works with you, or is that something that you did because, you know, that Olympic gold was so important and you had worked for what, 14, 15 years before that up to that point?
Well, post the Olympics, being very honest, I wanted to quit. I didn't want to continue being in the sport. I wanted to get out of it, and I wanted to do something completely different. I looked around for a year trying to find something which would appeal to me, but I couldn't really find anything, and here I'm back shooting again, and I think shooting now is in my blood. You know, I can't really get away from it. I don't think I'll ever retire from shooting.
But when you said you wanted to quit, does that mean that you didn't want to compete anymore?
Yes, I didn't want to compete anymore. I didn't want to. I could have done it as a hobby once in a while, but I didn't want to compete. I didn't want to shoot anymore. I didn't want to do it competitively.
Why is that?
Probably because it was a long journey. I think going into Beijing, that was my 15th year in competition, and I really put in a lot of work and a lot of sweat into that whole journey. And I guess I was a little bit tired and wanted to explore other things. I mean, shooting is one thing, but life has other things in store as well. But really, nothing as exciting as being on the range and trying to hit the middle point on a black circle. So it just drew me back, and I'm really back now, and I'm really motivated again to do well and to come up.
After winning the Olympic gold, was the motivation gone? What else do you need to get? Was that the question you were asking? Or was it a case of, my God, I worked so hard, I've achieved this goal, now I need to breathe a little easy?
I think it was a combination of both. So I think when you worked, obviously the Olympic gold medal was the ultimate dream for me. It was my dream since childhood. And obviously I achieved it, and I climbed this huge mountain. And really you find nothing there when you climb a big mountain. You find emptiness, and that's what I felt. And obviously I was drained by the whole journey. I was relentlessly working towards that for a long period of time. So I was also mentally drained, plus a little less motivation because now that you've got it. So I just needed to be away, and I think that was very good. And I was away for a year.
And then you looked around for a year and you found nothing as exciting as shooting. Is that what you're saying? That's a poor, sorry comment on the world, isn't it?
Well, no, I didn't find anything as exciting, or I even tried things. I worked consciously to get me motivated again. I worked with psychologists to put me back on track and get the inner drive going again. You know, I tried a lot of things, but really, what really got me going again was failure. And I failed a couple of times, then shoot well in a couple of matches, and that was it.
Brought out the competitive spirit again.
Yes, and that's what's needed. I think when you climb that big mountain, and the only way forward is that you have to climb it, get down, and then try and climb another one up again.
When you said what got you back again was failure, what are the tournaments you're referring to? Because 2010, the first 3 tournaments were not that bad, and then I think Munich World Championship was not good at all, isn't it?
It wasn't bad, but obviously I didn't win. I mean, it's very difficult to say what is bad and what is good in shooting, in a sport like shooting, because you can't always compare it with a podium finish, because the sport is so competitive and you have so many good shooters around. That also motivated me to really step it up again and try and come back to the best I can be, to be the best I can be. And that's what my drive is now going into the next 2 years. I want to be the best I can be.
You want to keep the gold medal, isn't it?
No, I don't look at it that way.
2012, you don't feel a sense of proprietorship, that's mine.
No, I don't.
I mean, isn't that something that would propel a sports person to stay
No,
motivated?
I don't look at it that way, because that's far away from reality. I mean, there's an event 2 years down the road, and certainly there are a lot of people vying for a gold medal at the Olympics. But what I can do is in the next 2 years is to prepare to the best of my abilities and make sure that on that given day and on that given moment, I'm the best I can be. And if I succeed in doing that, that's gold medal. That's a gold medal for me, and that's really how I think most athletes look at situations and look at performances at that given day. And if I can be the best I can be, I will be more than happy.
What are some of the things that you did to get to where you are today?
Well, I think for me the biggest thing is that I love my sport. I love the process of shooting. I just love shooting.
But did you go through a period when, after the Beijing Olympics, where you wondered if you did love your sport anymore? Did that question come up?
Yes, of course, it did. But yeah, time just brought. With time, it just drew me back into the game and into the sport. And
share a little bit now. Don't save it all for your book, Abhinav.
No, I think it's. I mean, obviously after the Olympics, I asked myself, what the hell did I do for my life for the last 16 years or 15 years? I mean, I've
got it. It's over. The moment is gone.
Yeah. What is interesting is because it's such an individual sport, and it's you learn so much about yourself. You're really competing against yourself. When you beat that one side of you which says, hey, you can't do it, it really gives you a big kick. And I think that's exactly what has motivated me to come back into the sport. And that has been a challenge in itself, to come back not just as a hobby shooter, but come back into serious reckoning.
How did family, friends, your coaching team, your mentors in this space, how did they deal with the existential angst, for lack of a better word, that you were going through post the Beijing Olympics?
Obviously, they were supportive. They were all encouraging.
But was there a sense of, but why are you thinking like this? Shouldn't you just, put your nose to the grindstone and keep at it? Because you're...
No, at the end of the day, the decision had to be mine, and I think it's something which has to come from within, and it's something which you cannot be. That drive can never be instilled into. And I mean, you can be you can be encouraged, and you can have people telling you to really go for it again, but it really has to come from within. And people try to encourage me. I went to psychologists to try and get things done, but hey, nothing worked. It had to come from within, and within a period of time, it has come in, and I'm really excited about it.
There was no moment of truth or epiphany, as we say. There was no one trigger that brought you back to wanting to compete.
Failure, as I said, failure is the biggest. Failure really brought me back. I think I'm so happy that I failed a few times.
You're underplaying it as usual, no?
It's good to be that way. I mean, it's good to be. I'm more comfortable underplaying it.